This is Bartenders, Uncensored, where cocktails are shaken, drama is stirred, and tea is spilt, one drink at a time. I'm Alicia. Join me in navigating the wild world that is the Chicago bar scene. With over a decade of experience, I have seen it all. I'm here to give you an unfiltered backstage pass to nightlife in the Windy City and what really goes down behind the bar. Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of Bartenders Uncensored. I am so excited to have you guys all tuning in. Thank you so much for being here and joining me. I can't wait to be doing this with you every week, to be honest. I'm so excited. It's the only word I could think to say. But I am Alicia, and I will be your host. I cannot wait for you guys to be here every week and meeting my friends and other people and industry workers around the city. I think this is going to be very cool and a learning experience, but a lot of fun and funny, I hope. But I can't wait. And I've been really working on this for quite a while now. A lot of my friends will tell you, if they know me, that this has been a long time in the making. It's been a slow process, but sometimes slow wins the race. So, watch out. But to get things going, I do really want to just give you guys a little bit of background on myself and why the fuck am I doing this? I get it. Who are you? I understand. But I am from Illinois, Oswego, actually, if any of you guys know that. I call it it's the edge of civilization before you reach the boonies, the middle of nowhere, Illinois. So it's a little farther out there, the suburbs. More like a suburb of Aurora. If you are looking on maps, it's a city to look for, right near there. Don't know why I'm babbling about that, but I started in the industry when I was 16 years old, so I've been doing this for 11 years now. Crazy to think about. I got my first job as soon as I turned 16. I think it was 2 weeks later. I had a job, and I got a job because my parents, we didn't really do allowances. We didn't have that kind of set up in our family. It was more of if I wanted to go out with my friends, I had to ask my parents for $20 or $40, and they would either tell me yes or no, and if they told me yes, that's all I had to spend. Back then, at least got you somewhere. Nowadays, not so much. But I hated it, and I wanted, sorry, I have an itch. I hated it, and I wanted to have control over my own money. So I got a job, and I said, now I get to do whatever I want to do, and this is going to be nice. So really, that's how I got into the industry, and my thought process was the way to make the most money is to serve, because there's no limit on how much I can make, whereas if I worked retail or even sandwich shops, it's just paycheck. There's not really tips involved. At least that's not how it worked back then. I know nowadays you can tip at all those places, but it's not how it worked back then. So that's how I got into this industry, and then from there, I started hosting at TGI Fridays, the OG, and then food ran, and then served, and then cocktails served, and then that was it for high school. Then I went to college and worked at a sandwich shop for some ungodly, unknown reason. I don't know why I did that. Hated it. Then I got a job at Texas Roadhouse, which was quite interesting. It was fun. I did say yeehaw more than I like to, but then after that, I went to Iowa City, and I moved there and went to college there. And I worked at a couple of smaller places downtown Iowa City, and then I worked at a bar downtown Iowa City called DC's. If anybody been there, maybe not. Shout out DC's. But I worked there for pretty much the rest of my college career. I loved it. I served for a while, and then I finally convinced my boss to let me start bartending if I agreed to do every frat lunch, which was every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday morning. And thank God I was doing residencies, so I had like one or two classes going at the time, so I could do it. And if you've ever worked frat lunch, those suck, by the way. You only make like $1 per plate, I think it was when I did it. And so if I ever really made any other money, it'd be from the regulars or if the guys decided to drink, because drinks obviously weren't covered. It was just food. And then after a while, he slowly let me start working later on Fridays. And we did fish bowls, learned how to make all those, and then moved me more into the weekends. And yeah, and I loved it. I really fell in love with it. It's a lot of fun to do. And it's a lot of fun to be in this atmosphere without actually having to be out and to be drinking and to be spending money. Like, I got to be in the social aspect of going out in college without always having to spend money and without always having to go out and get drunk and get wasted or black out or whatever. I hate blacking out, by the way. I don't do it. I haven't done it since I turned 21. But I got to be out with everybody, and I got to see my friends who would come and visit, and the regulars, and people would hang out at the bar with us. And I got to make new friends and meet new people. And so it was a lot of fun, and you get to create like almost this community for yourself and this family for yourself. And a lot of the bar industry workers downtown Iowa City were all very much friends. So I got introduced to that whole community and made friends that way. And it was so much fun and awesome to be a part of. It was almost like, the industry workers had their own little frat or sorority or whatever, because I was never in one of those. But that's actually how I also came up with the idea to do this podcast, was when I was sitting with all of my friends on a Sunday, because at downtown Iowa City, most of the bars were closed on Sundays, so that's when a lot of the industry workers were going out, and we all hung out, and then we'd talk about our weekends, tell stories about how we did, and people we got to see, and the people we had to deal with, and it's so much fun to talk about all this, and there's never ending revolving door of things to talk about and stories to tell and things to share. And so I was sitting there listening and laughing with everybody for hours, and I just thought to myself, like, what a good podcast this could make. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I think it's going to be a great idea, and this is going to go really well. I have high hopes. But if not, this was fun to do either way. But that's really how I came up with this idea as a whole. Why I chose to do it now, years later, I don't know. Couldn't tell you why, to be honest. I have no idea. But here we are today. And I am so excited to bring this all to life with you. And now I'm living in the city. And I'm working in the city in Wrigleyville, and I love it. And I found another bar where I got to create my own family, and I moved to a new city, and it was a great way to make new friends and to create my own community. And it's a lot of fun, and I'm here to kind of share it with you guys, get a little sneak peek into it. And then, what was I going to next? Wow, sorry, it's late. It's like 10 o'clock right now, so my mind's blanking a little bit. But now I know. I want to go over the idea for the show and what this show is going to be about, because I know what you're all thinking. I really do. You're thinking this girl's just going to be chatting with her friends and drinking and talking shit about everybody that walks into their bar. No, that's not what I want this to be. Really, I really don't. I want this to be a show where people from the industry and from all over the city and maybe all over the country at one point, and who knows, maybe expand internationally. That'd be super crazy to think about, but we can dream a little bit. But I really want this to be a place and a safe place for industry workers to come and share their stories and their perspectives, and to maybe, if you're not in the industry, you get to maybe learn something and learn about how it kind of works back here and how we work and what we have to deal with and what it's like to deal with you when you're drunk, and maybe you'll learn how to deal with a bad industry worker, because we're out there, we do exist. And so I really want this to be a place for learning and for educating people, as well as much as I want this to be about having fun and laughing and entertaining you guys. I do want this to also be a learning experience and a place for you guys to kind of become informed about what it's like to be behind the bar and what it's like to serve people. Customer service is honestly a skill, and if you don't have it, you're probably not going to survive in the service industry, my friends. But I have a lot of topics that I want to go over. And I also plan to have either bi-weekly or weekly guests. I'm not quite sure yet. More at a go with the flow kind of moment right now. So we'll see. I'll update you guys as I go along. And but mostly you'll hear people from Chicago. I really want to start local first. And then if there's any success in this, then we can look at expanding. But right now I really want to start in the city, Chicago, because that's where I'm at, and I'm a busy girl. I have 2 jobs already, and this is shaping up to be a third, so I really am not going to have time to travel a lot of places to do this. So I really want to start local. You guys are going to hear a lot of stories. Hopefully it's my goal to kind of also film in other places around the city. Different bars, different restaurants. I think that's a great idea. I think that's a cool idea. And so we can kind of highlight places as well. I think that could be a lot of fun. So let me know what you guys all think, truly. But you're going to hear a lot from other service industry workers, hopefully bussers, hopefully servers, bartenders, security workers, even cooks, owners, managers, all of the above, and all the shit that they go through and the funny stories that they have to share with you guys. And I'm so excited, and I hope you guys are excited to have a great time with me, because I think we will. So that's basically the rules and where I really want to go with this show. And I think that's honestly all I have. Oh, I forgot. Nope, we have to go back. We're going to have to rewind again. The rules of the show. I don't have many. I have 3, really. First one, no topic is off limits. We can talk about anything here. We are a safe place. Everything is on the table. And then my second rule is that every guest must choose a drink. It could be your favorite beer, your favorite wine. So if you're listening, think about it, and you're going to be on my show. Think about this. Or you have to make me a cocktail. I must try it. Even if I tell you I'm going to hate it, I must at least try it. And then if you are doing this show with a couple other people, bring enough for everybody, please and thank you. And then we will also share the recipes if it's a cocktail, linked below our video and below the podcast episode. And then if you bring your favorite wine or beer or seltzer or whatever you want to do, then I will also have that linked below the show and the podcast. So yeah, that's number 2. And then my last rule, number 3, have so much fun. Let loose. Forget about the crazy shit that's happening in the world. I want this to be a place where people can come and listen and laugh and relax and just throw all the stress of, if you're an industry worker dealing with people, This place is a place to come to. I want to be your friend. No, that's what I think I want this to be. If you're in the industry, my goal is to be like you're listening to your friends talk and venting and having a vent sesh with your other service industry friend workers. So, and if you're not, then I hope I get to entertain you and to make you laugh a little bit and just to make you forget about whatever stressful thing, to make you forget about whatever stressful thing is going on in your life and put a smile on your face. So I hope you guys join me every week. I can't wait. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's just a little about me and about the show. And thank you all so much for joining me. I think that's really all I have. But please, also, really quick, please follow me on Instagram. It's bartenders.uncensored. It's also my TikTok as well. And then follow, like things, share things with your friends and family. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. I greatly appreciate you guys all for the support. I do want to do a quick shout out to all of my friends and family who have been supporting me on this. You guys are awesome, and I love you all so much, and I appreciate you guys more than you will ever know. So thank you all so much for joining me. Hold on. This is how my brain works. I'm so sorry. Don't hesitate to DM me on Instagram if you have any questions or if you want to share a story. That's the best place to get in contact with me right now. I really need to make an email for this show because I feel like that'll be easier to filter things out in. But please don't hesitate to reach out to me and ask whatever question. I'm thinking we could do an episode or two, like a Q&A session, or like a story share where I go through all your stories and we read them off, and who knows? It's an idea. Like I said, go with the flow. We'll see how this goes. But thank you all truly so much for joining me. Yeah. Bye.